my granny. Made it to the top, outstanding. The drip off white, I killed it. And the break off white, that's a birdie. I'm in Georgia with my dogs like.
Yeah, let's jump into it, man. I noticed you went on your vacation recently online. Tell me about that a little bit.
Like, it was good, bro. It was taking the wife out. You know what I mean? For a birthday, we had a good time. And like I was saying, it kind of made me realize that when your wife happy, you happy. Right. You know what I mean? So just to be able to put that smile on her face, let her do whatever she wanted to do. You know what I mean? It was, priceless, bro.
Yeah, priceless. I saw some of the posts, man. Y'all still got active with the podcast too. I saw a few clips of, people out in Vegas doing their thing and stuff. Man, tell me about that.
Man, always working, bro. Yeah. That's just me. Just even when I'm having a good time, when I'm kicking it, I'm thinking about work. You know what I mean? So I'm out there just kicking it. You know, you're in Vegas, the smoking is legal, so I'm out there just doing what I'm doing, smoking, and it was a couple come past, and they just had good energy. You know what I mean? I'm like. They were taking pictures. I was like, man, y'all know me from a can of paint. You know what I mean? I said, but this promo, y'all just saying, welcome to Retro World. I've been on Retro World. Just follow me, whatever. And they was like, yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
So I recorded and got me some new followers.
Nice. Tell me about the podcast, man. I noticed you've been picking up some steam with that. Some great guests. I saw Big Gang on there. I saw Controversy on there recently. And I also noticed you're adding kind of a network. So touch on a little bit of all that, the podcast and the network coming.
The podcast is growing, bro. It's growing. Every week we get better. You know what I mean? As far as the quality, the content, the people, you know what I mean? So shout out to everybody who's been supporting me from the beginning. I think we like 30 episodes in, you know what I mean? It's been a good grind, you know what I mean? It's been a hard grind, but we're just trying to be consistent. And been doing the podcast, how my mind goes. I'm thinking 10 years from now where I wanted to be, and I want to have a network where more black creators of creators of color, I say, you know what I mean.
There you go.
We can come together and make something big like a black podcast. With shout to Charlamagne the God and them. One of the people that I look at. I look at mentoring. Where I got the idea from, so that's just what it is. Just trying to draw a hub for people of color to come together and put good content in one spot.
Nice. Definitely, y'all be on the lookout for that. Definitely. For sure. So let's take it back a little bit, man. Let the people know about you, Retro Hendrix. So where are you from? Where were you born and raised?
Born and raised Alabama, man.
Okay.
Born and raised Alabama. By the time I turned, I say about 15, 16, we moved to Georgia. My stepdad moved us out there, but my bread and butter's in Alabama. You know what I mean? I say Georgia kind of made me, I ain't gonna say made me a man, but that's when I was in my older times. I really jumped off the porch then, but hey, roll tide, baby, Alabama.
What are some of the differences, if you can recall, between Alabama and Texas, like growing up and just living and things?
Between Alabama and Texas?
Yeah.
Man. Texas is bigger.
For sure.
It's way bigger. Alabama is smaller, so I get a more homey feel when I'm in Alabama.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know more people. You bound to run into your cousin. You bound to run into, family. Here in Texas, it's just bigger. It's love out here. I say that, though. The Southern hospitality is real. You know what I mean? Everybody's speaking and stuff, but it's just more, if I can put it into terms, Texas to me is tourist.
Right.
And Alabama is more homey. You know what I mean?
More homegrown type of thing.
Facts.
Yeah. It's little pockets of that out here in Texas. You just gotta find them.
But it's country out here in Texas too, though. So it give me that Alabama feel at the same time. You know what I mean? It's country out here, so I feel at home. I would say I feel at home when I'm Texas. I got a lot of family from Alabama moving to Texas. So
yeah, a lot of opportunities too.
It is.
You mentioned that the years, you kind of adolescent years, growing into a man, and yourself as Retro. We're in Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
Okay, touch on that. Tell me about that transition from Alabama to Georgia, and then, like you said, moving into the character, the man that is before us.
Going from Alabama to Georgia was kind of hard. I was in high school, beginning part of high school, so you leaving all your friends from kindergarten. I've been rocking since, since we was 6, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm leaving friends from like 12, 13 years. So when I got to Georgia, I was kind of like, I ain't messing with nobody. I don't care for none of y'all. Like, I kind of was, in the bubble, really.
Yeah.
Until you kind of start meeting people that like interests. People's playing basketball. Oh, okay, I can kind of kick it with y'all. And, them become your homeboys. You know what I mean? And then we just start rocking tough every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it became my second home. It definitely became my second home. All my favorite sports and stuff come from Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of just grew on me. You know what I mean? I met some real solid people out there, people that I still go see today when I go down there. My daughter's out there, had my first kid in Georgia.
Really
So,
settled down.
yeah.
Really started, I should say.
Yeah, I kind of started.
Nice. Yeah, I noticed. I saw an interview also that stated it. You know, if you really want to go get some knowledge, I think it was Bandman Chaos. Shout out to him. If you really want to go get some knowledge and get it like hyper focused, I'm talking about the stuff you'll learn out here in 6 months. You could probably learn in Atlanta in about 2 weeks,
Man,
and you're gonna get it because it's always going. This,
sure.
You know, if you want to go out there and get some music knowledge and push yourself musically, from what I can tell, Atlanta and all them areas surrounded in Georgia, I feel like that's.
Atlanta's real fast paced. I would say that, and there's a lot of, like I said, it's family oriented too. Like I was saying in Alabama, everybody work with each other. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there's not no competition, because I'm pretty sure there is, and people in Georgia feel the same way how we kind of feel.
Right.
But from the outside looking in, it seems like it's just more unity out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people ain't afraid to say, "Hey man, I mess with you. Let's put a play together. Let's make something big and we all eat." Kind of what we were just talking about. You know what I mean? I think you see more of that in Atlanta than Texas, and you know these little areas, and that's why I feel like Atlanta thrives the way it thrives.
Yeah. So you mentioned to me off camera in another situation that you kind of had ties, not ties necessarily, but you kind of grew up in that Migos era when they were out there. So touch on that for me if you don't mind.
Yeah, North Atlanta. Like I said, I used to live on the North Atlanta. It's a long street, Pleasant Hill. And one end is the high school that I went to, and the other end is where the Migos went to high school. And we have mutual friends, Rail Money. That's like they were a road manager. But he went to school out here in Duluth where I went.
Okay.
But he was messing with the guys over there.
Cross
So
town,
we used to always go to the little clubs they used to be at. You know, they performing over here, Wild Bills. They performing over there at, what's the other spot? Man, I can't think of the little spot they used to perform at. But Wild Bills was one of the big, like, teen kind of club we can get in. That 17, you know what I mean? If you was 17, you can kind of, you can get in there. So we was going to go see them, bro. So just to see them pop off and be big, I felt like I was part of the Migos. I felt like I made it, you know what I mean? 'Cause I'm like, man, I remember watching them boys from, man, what song was that? It was before they had them in Montana, bro. It was like they had hits. You know, they had the north side of Atlanta going crazy, bro.
Exactly, man. Rest in peace to Takeoff.
Rest in peace, Takeoff,
Definitely
bro.
a tragic situation.
Definitely.
Around that time, were you making music already, or was this before or after you had kind of started that?
We in the studio, we in the bathroom rapping, bro. you know how it was back in the day. You know, we really didn't have access to studio. We didn't know the game like that, so it was like 5 or 6 of us. You know what I mean? And we all just getting served. Everybody just hit freestyles. You know what I mean? We really didn't take it serious. You know what I mean? Like we was doing music, but we wasn't doing music. You know what I mean? Until I got a little older and I started realizing, okay, gotta start getting the paperwork. You gotta start doing this. Other than that, we were just in the regular teens, bro. Just kicking shit, rapping with your homeboys.
Yeah. So when was the big break, or when was it that you figured out or decided like, okay, you know, whether it was shows, it was your first payment, when were you like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it just through thick and thin?
Music wise?
Yeah.
Probably when I got to Kentucky, when I linked up with the my boy Jacob Resch in the studio. I had moved to Kentucky. I was Indiana. Kentucky like 10 minutes from there. So I'm going to the studio trying to find a place to record, and I'm there just chilling. There's a white guy in there. He was playing the guitar, but he was rapping the part of the song. And the guy was like, "Hold on, bro, you can rap like, 'cause it's trash." Like what he was saying. So he was like, "You put some on there, you know what I mean?" And you stick playing the guitar, so I wrote a verse to it, and not just realizing what I was doing. Like the song went crazy. You know what I mean? I'm touring, not really realizing I'm touring. You know, he called me, "Hey, Retro, pull up over here, man. Let's just hit Old Marie." All right. Yeah, let's come over here and we gonna do it. You know what I mean? So then he asked me, did I have my paperwork together? And I'm like, nah. And he like, "Oh, well, you tripping. You know, he showed me how to do it, got me together. Then one day, bro, I just got a check. And I'm like, damn. Now I'm rapping like I'm finna be a rapper. You know, I'm finna really take this serious now.
That's hard.
Hearing the stuff on the radio, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, I'm on the radio.
Going doing shows.
Man.
You like you said, not even knowing you doing the whole shit. You didn't got paid from it, man. You got on the radio, you touring with it. That's fire.
Not even knowing.
That's fire. So from that point, that was kind of your first, it was a single?
It was a single, yeah.
Okay, so after that, you know, transitioned into, you know, taking music seriously. Talk to me about your music content, albums and things of that nature.
Far as like the sound and stuff, bro, I always felt like I was different. I remember one of my homeboys, Scotty, he recorded like the first song I ever done, really, outside of the thing with Jacob. And he just like, man, just stay where you at. Like, you're different. People ain't gonna understand what you're saying right now, but eventually you gonna pop. Just stay where you at. So I stayed with it. You know what I mean? I just rapped. I never had like, I'm gonna be a trap rapper or I want to be this type of rapper. If the beat sounded good, I rapped on it. It could have been an R&B beat. It could have been a techno beat. It could have been any type of beat. If it sounded good, I was rapping on it. And I think that kind of formed the Retro Hendrix. You never know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get mood music. That's why I kind of started naming it. You're gonna get mood music. However I'm feeling at the moment, that's what I'm gonna drop.
Where'd the name come from? Retro Hendrix.
It was crazy. Not even music really. It just come from shoes.
Okay.
Being in the Army, ordering crazy shoes, not knowing, if this is my last time, you know what I mean? I'm in Afghanistan, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, you know what? I got money now. I've never had Jordans. I'm about to just order Jordan crazy, bro. And I was going crazy. And I went to the mailroom to go pick them up, and they was like, bro, you the retro guy, because you keep, and it just stuck. You know what I mean? It just stuck with me. So retro, I like Jimi Hendrix. I put that shit together, bro. You got Retro Hendrix.
It's a good fit name. I remember you showing me some of the pictures off camera. Another incident. Just going back to them years when you were enlisted. So first off, at the end of it, I want to say salute the service because I done had plenty of pressures to join the services, and that ain't my cup of tea. I give everybody that do it.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
Kudos, yeah. Because sometimes you just gotta. I got a couple homies that did it, and it's just one of those things. Sometimes you develop structure with it. You might get some extra income you don't have. It's benefits to it, so that's cool, man. That's a cool origin story. I like the origin stories and the backstories behind things because as stuff grows, it kind of changes and evolves. So to see where you came from and the pieces that were put together to make the complete image we see is cool to understand. You know what I mean? Makes you more relatable in a sense as well. So that's cool. So you started dropping your projects. This was in Atlanta?
Nah,
Texas.
My first official project, I want to say, I give it to Texas.
Okay.
I was dropping little singles here and there, but like just to say, my first put together project was in Texas. I was in Houston. Old to Me, New to You. That was the name of the project.
Yeah, I'm on more of I think like the early 2020s, like the Kick Dough Tro.
And Kick Dough Tro.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if I was saying it right.
Classic. I did that in Clean.
Okay, yeah, I remember that project. And then I remember at the Mixer actually recently you performing some of your singles and then Princess Diana. Yeah, that's fire. Tell me about that one.
Man, that's my first song I ever recorded in Clean.
Oh wow.
Yeah, shout out to Golden Ears. My boy Los, my cousin Los, he sent me the beat. I had a studio on Ranch. It was called BLK Studios. I was with some guys and I had a little studio over there. And they used to always, go back and forth and necessarily not tease, but like, man, Retro, you always in the studio, but you ain't never recording nothing. Like, what you in here doing? Like, you the police type shit, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just kicking it, you know what I mean? I'm cool, but one day I got kind of cocky with it. I'm like, bro, I can really do this. Like, any beat and any subject, I'm gonna come up with a song. And I don't know if I was on my phone or he said something about Princess Diana, but that was the subject. Okay. You know what I mean? And I just remember going to the car, blowing. And I sat there and I was just listening to the beat and it just came. And I came to the studio and I recorded and he was like, bro, this shit really kind of tough. You know what I mean? And then I started recording it, putting it out, performing it, and it kind of blew me up.
Yeah, I may sound like a bandwagon, but I don't care, man. That is one of my favorites. I do like it, the whole vibe of it, the whole, just everything about it, bro. Like, especially when I saw you perform it. One of the things I preach to artists and then fans too is go get a live experience of your artist and the people that are around before you just write them off or even say they're the best. You know what I'm saying? Go see what that real life experience is like because, man, when I tell you, some of these cats they sometimes bring even more to the table when you get to see them face to face. You know what I mean? And I say this aside from you about other artists I've seen.
I know exactly what you mean.
I know for that track also, when I got the vibe out and I saw the response, I'm like, yeah, this is one of the ones.
It is, bro. Like, the crowd really fuck with it. It's one of them where I can really engage in the crowd, you know what I mean? And it's catchy. It ain't gonna take you that long to pick up what I'm
yeah,
saying.
but like the second time, I
You
heard
on there.
everybody. Yeah,
You gonna say it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's one of the ones, bro.
Cool. Fun fact, man. Shout out to Los and Golden Ears, man. I actually ran into him in jail.
Shout out to Los
A couple years ago, man, and he was telling me what he was doing, and I think he's out in Houston, the Houston area now. So shout out to Los, man. Appreciate you for
Yes, sir.
the support, man, and the love. Cause there's plenty times, man. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't had no commissary. You feel me? Bro gonna break bread with you. You feel me?
Every time, bro.
So
every time.
for real, I'm indebted to bro. We always gonna be tapped in. So again, shout out to Los, shout out to Golden Ears.
Shout out to Los and Golden Ears, bro. Forever grateful.
Yeah. So tell me about your home life, man. I know you mentioned earlier that you said you had your first kid in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
How many kids do you have now?
4.
Ooh, 4 piece.
I got 2 girls, 2 boys.
Okay, right down the middle.
Right down the middle, 16, 14, 13, 12.
Mm.
Kaya, Raya, TJ, and Sean, man.
That's fire.
They keep me busy, bro. They keep me busy, keep me young.
Yeah.
You know,
They gonna keep you hip to the new stuff.
Man, what?
Yep.
I got a good, they a good age, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. They're not too far apart. They're back to back, but not like as soon as you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of time, they can be their own people without doing too much.
And they are, but they own people, bro.
Yeah.
They all different. But then at the same time, they all the same. I could see me in all of them.
And all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's crazy. My mom would be saying that, so that must be a gratifying feeling. You know what I mean?
Nah, it is, bro. Like my oldest daughter, she got like my music side.
Mm-hmm.
She just all music. It ain't nothing about music that she probably don't know, bro. And I'm talking about music from like 1920 to current.
Damn.
It ain't like she's one of them people. She's like a historian. Like she sit back and like study, and she know it all, but she make beats. You know what I mean? So shout out to Raya. Sean is my athlete. He's my athletic side. You know what I mean?
I may have seen you post about Sean a couple times. Yeah.
There's nothing, bro. Any sport, anything going on, bro. He's there.
Y'all be out grinding. I used to see y'all at the park.
Oh, that was just summer. Like, we coming. It's coming.
Getting bucks, man. Come on.
It's coming. I got TJ. TJ is like my nerd side of me. The video game tech, the technology. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then my youngest daughter, she just the boss.
Yeah.
She just the boss. Like, she's the boss side of me. Hey, just go here. You do this. I want this over here. Daddy said that. It's over here. Hey, Daddy, they tripping. They ain't know it, you know what I mean? I know she gonna get them right. You know what I mean? So it's just cool because that's all me and one.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
It's all me and one.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Shout out to you and your family.
Shout out to the kids.
And I just, for a second, want to speak on the importance of that. I think, the black father in the household is so critical, man. Being there to instill that discipline, but then also be that loving role model. You know what I mean? You set the guidelines and you walk them straight.
For sure.
So, man, that's great. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just, moments like that I can sit and just revel on, bro, because I feel like that's something that, is definitely a struggle in our community, but, we're in kind of a battle right now over, the next generation. We lose into that, that mental, whatever it may be, but losing the father out the household.
My thing is more of just realizing my role in their life. As I got older, you know what I mean? It's their time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's their time. Let me teach them. Let me give them the game. I feel selfish out here doing all that, you know what I mean? Not putting that back into my kids. That's my investment. That's an investment to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the investment. I got the knowledge because I feel like we lacked the knowledge growing up. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know that I didn't get until I was 30.
Right.
Like, damn, if I'd known that at 18, 20, I know nothing about credit.
Exactly.
At 18, 19, 20. You know what I mean? So let me teach them that now. Let me teach them the importance of how to pay bills. Let me show you how to, like, one thing I pick up from you that I like is the agriculture. Like, bro, you really out there getting it in, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna say it for you, because I be talking to my moms, bro. I be out there getting it, bro, because like you said, it's an investment.
It is, bro.
And I see for what it can be, even if I don't reap the benefit.
Man.
And that's the whole point,
That's what I was trying to say.
An accident, I didn't mean to cut you, bro. An accident, unfortunately, could occur. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the fence line, my situation right now, the next checkpoint is cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes are just putting in that work, and Lord knows we went out there tired, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock some days, but we did, and we got it done, and it's, like I said, to the next step. So
Don't pay off.
Exactly. So, I know we touched on it earlier as well with the network you're looking to put together for Black and brown creators alike. You have any kind of idea of like the format? You said it's just gonna kind of be open subject material.
For the network,
right? Like what types of content do you want on the? You know what I mean?
I want a little bit of everything, bro. So the name of it is gonna be. I kind of slept on it, and I think that's why I'm roll with it. It's called the Ebonic Network. It's our language. You know what I mean? It's how we talk. You know what I mean? And that's when you go back and Ebonics. That's how we talk. You know what I mean? So I kind of felt like that was cool. You know what I mean? And for us, the content. You know what I mean? Of course, Retro World gonna be on there. You know what I mean? That's kind of real interview based, giving locals and people a platform to put their stuff on. I'm gonna branch off and do my own podcast where it's just me, and it's just up and close with retro. You know what I mean? Just all Retro Hendrix, no matter. And I'm just gonna touch on different topics. Problems in the Black community, stuff that I see, just real more up and close and personal. I want to get a female podcast on there. Just whatever females talk about, not getting to just a female vibe, some energy.
Like the Angela Yee type of.
Right. There's some female vibe. I want to get some sports on there because we like sports. That Kevin Hart, Snoop Dogg vibe, whereas we watching the same thing, but we, how we watching ESPN in the morning.
It's like it's a term I saw. It's like edutainment.
Yeah.
It's like it's educational and entertaining at
Facts.
the same time.
So it's still in the process. You know what I mean? Still in the process. Now I kind of just want to focus. That's the the end goal. You know what I mean? Until I build a team. But right now it's just really building a solid team with Retro World, and then that team can help the other shows that's on if they need that type of help if need be. You know what I mean?
Okay. I don't think we touched on it. If we did, I apologize. What even made you come up with starting Retro's World and the Retro's World podcast?
I was working with someone on their podcast.
Oh, okay.
He had my homeboy. Well, I guess he was my. I don't know what you call him, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? He had a little podcast, and I would just help him. I went to one of the shows. He reached out to me and asked me to be on his show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? I tried out. I went to the first show. I kind of seen how it was going, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of liked it. You know what I mean? I kind of like podcasting. It was dope. You know what I mean? And I kind of asked him like, hey, let me fall under you, like, because I really don't know what I'm doing, but just let me fall under you, and I'm gonna call it Retro World. You know what I mean?
That's
so
cool.
He made my first logo for me, and then I was just doing the Retro World under his thing. But if you kind of look, like my first 5 episodes was under Retro World, and then it came to Space Create, and that gap, we seen differences. You know what I mean? And kind of just grew apart. So like, you know what? I was having so much fun doing the podcast. I'm like, bro, I gotta continue doing this. I can't let him stop the growth. You know what I mean? I seen it picking up and people's really tuned in and tapping in. So I'm like, you know what? I can't let it stop. And that's how I end up coming to Space Create. And then, now I really like it. You know what I mean? It's, like I said, I'm 30 episodes in.
Deep too, good content with great people.
So
you know what I mean?
I'm learning.
You answered my second question from that was going to be kind of your transition into Space Create. So now that you are 30 episodes in, what's next? Do you want to get more types of the same people in for the podcast, or?
So for his Retro World, I'm kind of fine tuning. Like I feel like I'm in my groove now. I seen where I made mistakes. I seen what I want to fix. I like Retro World being a platform for other artists, but I don't want to make it every week an interview.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think I'm kind of not. It's good that I'm doing them every week, but I'm losing the essence of what I kind of really wanted Retro World to be.
Right.
I like the dialogue between me and my wife.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like that dialogue. So I want to get more getting us back on that dialogue, because when I go back and I look at the analytics and all that, we got more engagement when it was us talking.
Exactly.
The natural of us, vibing and talking. When you got interviews, they're dope, but it's kind of like if the person don't share it, you know, it's kind of one of those things like, yeah, I got the interview, but then you don't want to post it, you don't want to share it. Like, what's the point of doing the interview?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You kind of run into that, so it gives me a chance to narrow down my interviews to good, solid interviewers where I know people who's going to share it. They're going to take advantage of the whole scenario.
Right, really engage with
you. Yeah, really engage and really make this grow.
Right, because it can only, we touched on it off camera, you know, when other people are engaging in a dance or any kind of symbiotic relationship, it takes effort on both sides. You know, the saying goes, it takes two to tango. You know, if you and somebody else doing something, y'all both got to be putting in and ebbing and flowing to make sure it's going. So I think that's important. I agree with that as well, to have, you know, people that engage with you, that give you, you know, articulated answers. They're not just, and
I say, and this no shout to anybody that's been on the show, because everybody I didn't have on the show, man, been always engaged and they always help me. It's just moving forward as I see that it's growing and people are hitting my inbox up, and I'm really analyzing who's on the show, and I'm like, okay, man, you don't even share your stuff.
Right.
So how can I expect you to share my stuff?
Exactly.
Is this just you on a retro world wave, or is this really going to benefit us?
Right. And like you said, with the podcast and the network coming up, you may even have an avenue for that comes up where it's just, okay, you came to get a spotlight boost. Okay, that's what that channel is for. But I feel you on the sense of, okay, this was me and my wife T, you know, and us having this dialogue, and then it kind of just being an extra party that can contribute their thoughts versus we're just talking to this person.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So that's awesome. I'm glad for you that, you know, you were able to discern that early on, like you said, and fine tune it moving forward. If you haven't checked it out, y'all check out Retro's World.
Yeah, every Friday.
Yeah, every Friday. What
8
time?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. So what's next for you, man? I see you're more in the media avenue. We kind of switched between both topics, the music and the media, on this interview. We touched on the media. Are you pushing any music in the future, or is it just media for now?
Man, I've been having a lot of changes in my life going on for like the last week or two. It's definitely media. You know what I mean? Definitely media. I kind of feel like I found my niche. I'm happy. I'm in a good space. And I'm not saying I ain't doing music no more, but I just feel like I have my run, and I'm content with my run. I'm happy with my run.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm cool with my run. My kids still pull up my songs right now and jam. You know what I mean? I walk past my son's room. He's literally whipping up. He's singing them songs. You know what I mean? So I done did my job in that aspect. You know what I mean? That's serious. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like cool. I can play it and they gonna sing them songs. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Media wise, it's dope. You know what I mean? It's blowing up. I'm having more fun. I'm taking on a new venture, I would say. I didn't even put this out to the world. Only my mom and my wife know, honestly. Okay. But I'm in barbering school.
Okay.
I'm in barbering school. And
shout out to you for that.
And I feel like all that is going to tie in to one. You know what I mean? I said this year that I'm really focusing on me. And I feel like for years I've been helping other people build a brand.
Right.
And I've been putting my brand on the side. It's like, bro, I got a clothing line.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That I haven't touched in 2 years. You know what I mean? It's like, if I put it all on me and build me, I feel like I'm the $1 million man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I need to just start focusing on me. So that's what I'm doing, bro. You're going to see more content with Retro World. You're going to see my clothing out everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you can find me in the shop chopping up. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I'm really happy, bro. Like, I'm in a good place, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm in a good place.
Well, man, look, I think we're going to cap it at that.
Yes,
I appreciate the time and you coming to sit down.
I appreciate you having me.
You know, we see what's next from Retro. The man, the myth, the legend right here in front of y'all, man. Y'all go check him out on all platforms. Retro's World Podcast on the ground. And then if y'all want to stream that music, man, Retro Hendrix.
Retro Hendrix, man. Everywhere.
Man, we outie.
We out.
I can see my stock going up. Light tunk, man, the pot going up. Retro got the crowd going up. I'm at home, I got the block going up. Now do it for P.